Hello, doll lovers, crafters, and friends. I've got a good one for you. I was flipping through a magazine and I saw this spice rack, and I was inspired to make one for our dolls. It took me a while to figure it out, but I'm glad I did, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So you're going to need the following items. You're going to need the plastic from the orange sherbet push tube, cardboard from a cereal box, a quarter, a hole puncher, glue, a nail file, paint, straw, clear tape, baking paper, spices and teas, craft foam, a bead, and our hot glue gun. So you remember these like sherbet pops or whatever that they used to have? Well, I've got the plastic from there, and I'm going to trim the sides off. And when you're done, we're just going to put that to the side. We won't need that until the end when we're putting everything together. Then we're going to use a quarter and trace 10 circles onto the cereal cardboard. But we only need 9, so we're going to take one and fold it in half, and we're going to kind of use that to measure. So after we cut it, we're going to use it to create an X on one of our circles. And X marks the spot, and right where the X is the center where we're going to use our hole puncher to punch a hole into our circle. So once we get the first hole, then we're going to use that as a guide and continue to punch holes in the rest of our quarter size circles. So when everything has a hole in there, we're going to glue in 3 groups of 3. So we're going to stack 3, glue it together, and let that dry. Usually put a book on top and let that dry. So here we have our 3 stacks of 3, and we're going to use a nail file to smooth out the ends, make sure those edges are nice and smooth. And when that's done, then we're going to paint it. I'll set that aside to dry, and while we're painting, we're also going to paint a straw, about 1/3 of it. We don't have to do the entire straw. Now, to create our little spice jars, it's best to use clear straws, but I don't have any clear straws, so I'm going to kind of create one. You've seen this technique before in some of my previous videos. I'm going to use clear tape to create a clear cylinder since I don't have a clear straw. I'm going to make sure that the sticky side is up and the smooth side is down, and I'm going to wrap it around the straw. And once I get it all the way around, then I'm going to stop and fold it back the other way. I'm going to reverse the direction. Make sure I smooth it out. Then I'll roll it the opposite way. So now the smooth side is up and the sticky side is down. So once that's done, I can just trim it. Make sure everything is nice and smooth, and it should slide off really easy. And now I have a little clear tube, our little faux clear straw. So I'm going to make a few of these, and then I'm going to begin to trim them down to the size of the spice jar. And we'll use the dowel to kind of test the proportions. Now I'm going to lay down some baking paper, the parchment paper, and I'm going to apply hot glue evenly in a small little circle. I'm going to place our little cut straw on there, press it down in there, give it a sec to dry, or give it a sec to cool off the hot glue. And so once the hot glue is cool, it's going to lift right off of the parchment paper. You're going to trim the excess glue, and that's how you close up the bottom of our little spice jar. Then we're going to cut out holes of craft foam, and I want mine silver, so I used a little nail polish to make them silver. So I'm going to glue the craft foam onto our little circle, and I got 6 of them on there. And now it's time to fill up our spice jars with actual spices. So I just filled up our spice jars. Looks like this. You could use spice, you could use tea. I use lots of different teas. And you're going to carefully glue it up under each craft foam circle. So it kind of looks like is the craft foam is like the top of the spice jar. And you're going to do that to 2 of our 3 circles that we made. And then we're going to take that straw and cover it with clear tape so that the paint won't strip off of the straw. Now it's time to assemble all of our pieces. So the 3rd circle that we made is going to be the base of our spice rack. So we're going to apply a little hot glue to the bottom of our push tube and then glue that into place. Then we're going to insert our straw into the center of our quarter size circles. We're going to trim the top and the bottom off of the straw. Then we'll insert the long part of our push tube into the straw. I'm going to test it and make sure that it could spin around. And lastly, we're going to cut off the extra piece of that push tube, and then we're going to lock everything into place with a single bead on the top. But make sure you don't glue the straw or else your spice jar won't be able to spin. And I made a little extra spice jar because you can't remove these from the rack. So here's another version, like a little brown wood grain. And that's it. I like how it turned out. It took me a minute to figure it out, but I'm glad that I did. And I want you guys to try it at home, of course, like I always say, and just let me know what you guys are up to. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I can't even express it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. And please contact me. Thanks again for watching. Take care.